watched any of like my last 10 videos, you might think, geez, man, is Manila just all about, you know, bars, booze, babes, and banging like 6 nights a week? And the answer is, yeah. Okay, maybe not always, but it is, if that's the kind of scene you're trying to dig up. Let me just say, what's going on here? See what I mean? Anyway, this week's video, we're gonna take a look at another element of lifestyle here. Like, what do you have to suck up to just, you know, get an apartment? Take a look at some cheap ass local apartments that are really close to these like banging party zone scenes, BGC and Makati, Poblacion, but at a quarter of the price you would pay to live in a condo right here. My search is over. I have found the castle of my dreams here in Barangay Hulo, Mandaluyong. A bow shot from the Aqua condos. Absolutely wild. You can see how close this location is to the Aqua Towers. I used to live in a condo there. Really, actually a nice spot to live, but not when there's an earthquake. See little apartments like this. Probably not what I want, because there's just not gonna let in enough light in a place like that. He's super cheap though. See, that one's cool. How it has the porch and then the roof deck. Hi. See what I mean? Sometimes I think maybe I'm just being stubborn and just not going with the condo again, but speaking of Aqua, which you can see how close we are, I remember being like in the penthouse of that condo unit and looking out over this entire barangay, and it's like a sea of green and red house roofs and stuff. And the one thing that struck me was how many hundreds of open roof decks I was able to see. And I said to myself, man, on a sunny day, it would be so awesome to just have a spot like that. So I guess trying to make that happen. That church right in the center, that is Barangay Hulo, Mandaluyong. And those are the Aqua Towers, the Aqua residences. I lived there for a while. I'll put a card description up in the corner of this video if you want to check out what those condos are like. Really nice. And why I am looking in this area here, this huge barangay, is because so many of these little houses back here have these awesome open roof decks, like these garden roof decks like that one. See what I'm talking about? Literally every street has dozens of these roof deck houses. Just gotta find one. And then you got newer apartments. I don't know if you can tell, this one behind me here. Very similar to some of the older construction, but just new buildings. This one's somebody's house, but it's so cool. It's all open up there. I don't usually do a lot about hotels anymore, and almost never really did, because when I was traveling here for business and didn't have a place, I would just use Airbnb. So I had a lot of stuff up for Airbnb for a while, but guys are starting to ask me about hotels more, and I'm seeing a lot of options in and around BGC and Poblacion Makati that are just cheap, like way cheap. Like this place, you got a room for rent for the whole month in the middle of what looks like nowhere. But it's really a 10-minute walk, maybe not even 10 minutes, from the river. And from the river, you get this little boat over, and then you're at the bottom of Poblacion. So it's a really good location. And if you don't feel like doing the walk in the boat, you just walk up to the road here, which is like a 3-minute walk, and get a tricycle, and that'll take you over the Mandaluyong Makati Bridge, and you'll be right on Makati Avenue. So, yeah, some comment was on my channel the other day, and some guy was like, dude, I would never, hit a club like that and drop this kind of coin for this kind of action. And I'm like, dude, I didn't drop anywhere near that coin. Here's how you do it. And he's like, I'm blowing $200 a night in hotels and stuff, or maybe it was 100, I don't know. And I'm like, dude, no way. There's so many better ways. I mean, granted, you might not be living in a luxury hotel, but it's more for food and drink and traveling around. So this little boat here will just take you across the Pasig River to that boat station. And that boat station is basically at the bottom of Poblacion. Chilling with my new guide, Russell. When you look behind me, it looks pretty industrial. And then on this side, again, like pretty new apartment buildings. And to get an idea of where I am, those are the Tivoli Garden residences. So, shout out from some of the local lads here in Barangay Hulo, the S&E Digital Trading E-Commerce Center.
Fun in the Philippines.
It sure is. Later, guys. Getting my exercise in today with this heat, man. This is Pembo. Pembo's actually got some very hilly sort of areas in it. Actually was looking at a house in Comembo today, which was pretty decent. And I figured, you know what? Let's cut from Comembo through Pembo to see if I can find any more, for rent signs and stuff. And as you can see, it's like a maze. Like my Maze Runner series. See those BGC towers in the background there? I am in the barangay yet again today because I'm still looking for my spot. You know what I'm saying? And I have seen a number of places in a number of different areas. This is Makati's Barangay Rizal, which is sandwiched between Barangay Ususan and Taguig and Barangay Pembo, which is again just a stone's throw from BGC. And you can see these, like, some of them are like residential apartments, some of them are houses for rent. I got an appointment to meet someone back here, but I like to show up a little early and take a look around, because I already know there's a gym near here. I know it kind of looks a little ratty, kind of looks a little third world, even though the Philippines is no longer considered a third world country. There's still a lot of third world mentality. And even though these areas are not glamorous, it's just a neighborhood here. And super close to BGC. It's a neighborhood. Kids are like playing in the street, you know? It's like the good old days. It's kind of like a big hallway space between the two rooms, and the first room kind of doubles as a bedroom slash kitchen, which is a little weird actually. But the really actually big rooms, and the second room is nice and it adjoins the balcony. Not glamorous by any means, but we're talking like solid doors, we're talking concrete walls. Some of the walls I see in here are like Luan plywood. And the balcony. And I can feel the breeze. Like it's warm tonight, but up here it's actually cool, or cooler, which is a huge help. got a nice little balcony. Looks out over the barangay. You can see BGC right there. $300 US a month. Not bad. Very typical little apartment. Super tiny little room. Totally low key. This one would probably run you about 200 to 250 bucks a month. Literally walking distance to SMR. I have a really good idea of where I am, but not exactly. So I'm getting a tricycle to take me from where I am here in Barangay Rizal to where I saw the house I liked, right next to Bembo, over to SMR Premier. See how far it is. All right, this is the Palenque at Pembo, which actually means it's super close to SMR Premier. I shot a couple videos back here that I was calling the Maze Runner series. If you want to see what they look like in the daytime, check out this little card up in the window there. So back in Pembo proper, this is, you can actually see SMR from here. This is Makati, right next to Taguig, BGC, and there's some new spots here. They're actually sort of upgrading the street level stuff here, and you can see there's lots of street level. Another Palenque up here. The big Palenque is even closer to the apartment I was looking at. All right, so 10-minute walk from SMR, maybe 15 minutes, and less than half of what I was paying at my underpriced BGC condo before. I think I was paying $500 a month for my 1-bedroom, and I got a deal on that. They wanted like $650 for it, and since it was during lockdown, I managed to really get them down. But looking at another place on Wednesday that's much closer to Poblacion, Makati. It's actually on the Mandaluyong side. About the same cost, maybe a bit more amenities, and sort of for me what I would consider a better location. I mean, 15-minute walk from SMR is a pretty darn good location for, $276 a month or whatever the conversion works out to be. And I just like Makati better. Technically that is Makati, but closer to BGC rather than Poblacion. So I'll rephrase that. I like Poblacion better. BGC's cool. BGC's upscale. BGC's swank. It's safe. It's clean. But it's sterile. It's just only jumping 1 or 2 nights a week here or there, It's got no real bomb, kick-ass jump spots, Whereas Poblacion's bumping at least 5 nights a week. So maybe I should stay away from that. Oh, the magical wonderland of SMR. Every year they do the fantastic display. Yay. Merry Christmas from SMR here in the Philippines. Love giraffes, no doubt. And chandelier giraffes, well, that's just epic. I have to say, it is rather warm for December here in the Philippines, and I am here in Mandaluyong today, across from Poblacion. You can see Makati City Hall behind me, and the towers that are like the Knightsbridge and the Milano and the Gramercy. Yeah, that's Century City right there. Poblacion, the heart of where everything's going on usually at night, the kind of nightlife that I like, the vibe that I like. You can see down at the end, that's Rockwell, right? And on this side of the river, the Mandaluyong side, I mean, it's completely residential and low-key residential. I mean, unless you're gonna go up on the very end, there's new condos there, the Aqua residences, and I lived in those for a while. See a link about that up there if you want. Nice condos, really great amenities. They're very tall, and the last earthquake, man, had this building swaying like crazy. And swaying to the point where literally the water on the roof deck pool was sloshing over the side of the building. And I just don't want that experience again.
Thanks so much for watching. If you liked this video, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe.
This morning it was birds. Tonight it's huge bats.